Morning guys, bit of a stressful start to the day already. My big suitcase, the zip broke. Thankfully there are two going around and there's one extender zip which allows the suitcase to open up a little bit. And thankfully the extender zip just meets the one remaining zip on the bottom half. So I've managed to get a little lock through it, but it's on the bottom of the case, so it's taking all the strain. Don't know if this is going to make it all the way back to Kigali. To be fair, the suitcase has travelled a very long way with me. Definitely don't know if we're within the weight limit. Don't care anymore. Just want to get home with my luggage. So it's about 5:30 and we're going to start the walk to the train station. It's not quite fully light outside. This is crazy. This is the main street. Yesterday you couldn't move on here. There were so many people. And now there's one person. And that's it. Fun out on the streets this early because there's only a couple of types of people who are about. You've got people who are on their way to work and you've got people who are on their way home. So I've seen a couple walking down the street arm in arm, still smelling quite heavily of alcohol but having had the night of their lives. I've seen some people sitting in doorways sharing a soda, and then I've seen some people marching off to work, and then there's me waking up the whole neighbourhood with my wheelie case. But I'm almost at the station, feeling strangely awake. I think I've only had about maybe 4 hours sleep maximum, because I never sleep very well when I know I've got to get up early, and I woke up just before my alarms. So thankfully I pushed myself to get out of bed, so I'm actually awake. If I'd gone back to sleep again, I would not be this kind of perky. I'm not a morning person if I can help it. But station. Okay, so we've got a slight key issue. I've made it to the station and I'm leaving this morning, but Harris is arriving home tonight and there's only one key, so I've got to put it into the safety deposit box so that he can get back into his house. So I've not used one of these before, but we came here the other day and he showed me how they work, so fingers crossed. So I'm fairly sure that worked, and Harris said I can take any train with a picture of an aeroplane on it, so that should be going to the airport.
Au Bahnhof de 6h31 partira de la voie 3, Gleis 3.
Once again, I was struggling to get my cases on the train with all those steps. Does anyone know what this number panel is? I thought it was speed, but I don't think it is. Okay guys, look, I'm going to prove my point. Trains in most of Europe are a nightmare to get on and off with luggage. let alone a buggy or wheelchair. Surely in the 21st century we could have solved this problem by now. What is with the sodding bollards? You know, this is an airport. People have got luggage. You make it impossible to get on and off the trains, and then you try and make it so difficult to get to the airport. Why? Seriously? I'm not even sure that's big enough to get my bag through. I mean, you can't help wondering, what if there was a fire? What if people needed to get out of somewhere fast en masse? You're just going to trip over it, you're going to get crushed. The Symphony of Unity. What the hell does that mean? I'm just grumpy because I haven't had breakfast. This cost me €11 for a pan au chocolat that cost 50 cents in Lyon, and a DIY cuppa kit where you have to make your own cup of tea. Brussels, you are taking the piss. Then it was time to ride the magic floor. I love these things. So this is really confusing. You get to the end of the escalator and there's a passport control going through to T terminal, which is where we want to be. That's literally our gate right there, T61. But I think because it's leaving Europe, you have to get stamped out of Europe, and all of the passport desks are closed. There's nobody on them, so you can't actually get through. So I don't know when they're going to open that, but we'll just sit here and watch the planes instead. I am so tired. So I had a very overpriced breakfast. I was doing okay until we got to security, and I just don't understand airport security. I really don't. It's sort of, you know, you want to keep people calm. You want people to have sort of a chilled out flight experience, so it's easier for the staff and it's happy for everybody involved. But everything about airport security seems deliberately designed to piss people off in every possible way. It's like belts and laptops and, you know, liquids, and my god, it just goes on and on. Not our flight. So anyway, finally found the gate. I just feel like I want to go back to sleep, but I can't at the moment. Yeah, just gotta ride it out, and then when I get on the plane, then I can sleep. But it's nice to think that, you know, in a few hours I'm gonna be home.
Have a look at the safety briefing card in the seat pocket in front of you, as it contains important information. We will shortly show you a video concerning your safety on board. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact a member of our team.
Flight time this morning, 8 hours and 25 minutes.
It wasn't long before we were back over North Africa again. The contrast between Western Europe and North Africa is incredibly stark. I remember seeing this for the first time on the bus between Marrakesh and Essaouira and feeling rather unsettled by it. I was flying back to Kigali on a day when the skies were surprisingly clear, so I'm going to devote a little of this video to giving you a bird's eye view of the Sahara. Bear in mind, we're still about 400 miles from the start of the Sahara here, and it already looks like the most inhospitable place on Earth. The Sahara Desert is estimated to be growing by around 48 kilometres per year and to have expanded a full 10% since 1920, when records first began. It's hard to imagine that 5,000 years ago, this desolate wasteland was once a thriving network of rivers and the world's 12th largest drainage basin by modern standards. The slow spread of the Sahara is already heavily affecting countries like Mali, where the UN estimate around 98% of the land is affected by creeping desertification. This affects water access, agriculture, livestock and living conditions as land becomes less fertile and temperatures soar. It's pretty terrifying to stare out of the window at the Sahara and contemplate that most of the world might look like this one day. This looks like the surface of an alien planet. If I'm not mistaken, these rocks beneath us mark the start of the desert proper. Everything after this is true Sahara, and it goes on for hundreds and hundreds of miles. That tiny little line down there is a road through the desert. That's the tiny shadow of a little cloud down there. The first cloud we've seen in over an hour. It's going to be a very long time before this place sees rain. The top of these clouds look like a landscape all of their own. Now, not only the clouds are changing, but also the landscape. See all that green below and the river. We're finally entering Central Africa with its mountains and rainforests. We're flying down through DRC, which is more than 60% rainforest, the second largest rainforest in the world after the Amazon. 30% of its plants are completely unique to the region, and along with Uganda and Rwanda, it's one of only 3 countries in the world that mountain gorillas call home. It's also home to forest elephants and around 150 human tribes. It's kind of crazy to have one of the least fertile and most fertile places on Earth right next to each other, with hardly any middle ground. Time for our second meal of the flight. It's kind of weird eating pizza above the rainforest. Just as we crossed from desert to jungle, we're now crossing from day to night. That cloud looks like an island in a lake of fire. Lightning in the sky, 35,000 feet above Uganda. There are dragons in the sky tonight.
And dear guests, we are now approaching Kigali and have been changed our distance. Left doors are no longer available. We ask that you return to your seats now.
Kigali is absolutely beautiful at night. There are lights on all of the hills. Every now and then you pass a dark spot, which is either a lake or areas of wetland.
Welcome back.
Exactly back where we began. Today is picking me up.
You were emotional when you left your
I
kitty.
was really emotional, and now we're going to go and see if they remember who I am, because
Yeah.
they might have forgotten who I am. So
You almost got me emotional too.
Oh, I'm much happier now. Yeah, much happier being back now.
Good to see a smile on you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see if my cats remember who I am. Oh, there's a cat. Oh, it's too dark. You can't see anything. Hello? Is that a noise I heard? So these 3 monsters are on the cheesy num-nums, but Sophie has found the catnip. Look at this. She's trying to break into the catnip. This European catnip is having quite an effect. The nip before did not have that much of an effect. This nip seems to be the pure stuff. Maybe it came in from Amsterdam. The cat water fountain got too close to the Lush products and now it smells of Lush. I don't think they're going to like that. I'm going to go and give that a little rinse out and see how it works. Jazz has got a little bit into that nip. So I've just turned the drinking fountain on. But the problem is it stinks of Lush soap because it was in the same thing together. So, oh, look at that. Jazz is right in there. How? How woo, what are you doing? Oh, Oh, Halwoo, don't destroy my new clothes, please. We've got a cat up there. We've got a little Sophie loaf, very high on Nip. Look at that little cheeky grin. We've got a lovely little lady here. Hello, Sam. It's made it all worthwhile to buy you a drinking fountain. Look at that. They love it. Oh, no. I think the clothes have got Nip on them. Oh, Hal's away with the fairies. Oh, dear God. What the hell kind of sitting position is this? Seriously, this EU Nip is having a hell of an effect. More than I've ever seen them on Nip before. Oh, yeah, this is the good stuff. Oh, I'm going in for a cuddle. Oh, I'm so glad I bought it for them now. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what they'd think of it, if they'd use it or not. I mean, they always drink water anyway, but, you know, this seems to be a plaything as well. Wow, they love it. They really love it. Oh, I'm so glad I bought it for them now. Sophie's in there now, and she's a very fussy eater. She doesn't usually like any of the newfangled things I bring home. But she seems to like that. You absolute sausage. You absolute sausage, darling. Oh, Sophie is still going with the drinking fountain. Whoops! Jasmoby-doby-doby-do, you're as much of a pain in the ass as when I left. That's good to know. I have a house of absolute maniacs at the moment. I'm very happy.